I apologize if the stream is spotty today. We're having a bunch of heavy storms in Texas, so good times. So we are returning to the Redwoods today. Some of what I'm doing, I'm gonna make it a little more easily traversable. There are some areas that are too dense, that kind of thing. So we're gonna cut down on that. And also, I didn't mean for these fir trees to be here, so we're gonna remove those. I am late by 3 minutes, you're right. Oh, man. Now I'm not gonna break even. Yeah, I gotta get these boys out of here. Hello! How's everyone doing today? You know what, let's make this brush massive. Yeah! Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I didn't mean for the fir trees to be over here. They make it a little too dense. Just removed like 4,000 trees. Let's go take a look. Better. Still a little too dense in some spots, but we shall fix this. So first off, there's a path leading down here that I want to extend. There it is. But yeah, if the stream cuts out early, it's not intentional, but the thunderstorms are going a little crazy outside today. Should be okay, I think. It sounds like my newest trees have been delivered. I just heard it. That's dedication, delivering in this weather, tornadoes and such. I'm proud of them. Dedication or needing to live, it's one of those things. Definitely a little too dark here, so we're going to cut out some of these trees. Maybe I'll just intentionally send the path through some trees so I can cut them out. Now, gotta make sure I'm going the right direction. Yes. Wonderful. Got that sweet aerial view. Make a nice little path across. Yeah, mainly today I'm going to be focusing on cleaning up this area. Adding some more paths through it, that kind of thing. So while it may not be the most exciting, at least we're together. I think a little bridge there would be good. I love how you can still tell how massive these trees are even from up here. I know, right? I don't know what I'm doing not growing ferns in real life. I should be. I goofed. Now, let's get rid of some of these trees before we go too far. And I actually need to redo this river as well, but we'll wait till another time for that, probably. You're right. I should be fed to the ferns. Maybe they'll continue on in my place. I may be cooking, but you know, if there were 100 ferns doing it, that's something else. I just realized the audio's probably quiet. Let me rectify that. This should be better. I have this equalizer for my headphones that I use, so it stays on all the time, but sometimes I forget to turn it off when I start streaming. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see what we need to cut out. Probably all these boys. Yeah, I figured that would be better. It sounds great on my headphones, just not great on a stream. I'm a little obsessed with headphones, so I need them to sound perfect. Luckily though, I got out of the cycle of upgrades. I bought my dream pair and called it a day. Why is there a jungle plant in here? You didn't see this. Everything is perfect all the time. you will never see an issue on the map, ever. Except for that time I sent myself flying into the sky because I was setting up a spot to teleport from, just to travel, kind of like a fast travel, and it would yeet you into the sky. It was beautiful. I mean, terrible. There. Look at that. Apparently I need to have the jungle plants selected too, since they made it over here. How exciting. Like, I'll allow some, since we're next to the jungle, but, you know, we don't need to have a bunch of jungle plants here. Except ferns. Those fit everywhere. Similarly to horseshoe crabs. What's everyone's plans today? This is mine. I'll just be working on this all day. As if that's unusual. You, with the roots, get out of my path. Yeah, I think I do, just because I see them all the time, so I immediately see it and I'm like, no, you should not be here. All day stream would be fun. Perhaps one day. I think the problem then becomes, at some point I have to do the even less interesting stuff. And it would get very boring to watch, I assure you. When I'm going through and optimizing a million things and so on, I spend a pretty significant amount of time optimizing the game, so that usually involves staring at a bunch of measurements, finding out where to improve, that kind of thing. Oh yes. Might be a good idea, since I think you were planning to play this game on your laptop, might be a good idea to either find one that has good cooling, which is hard to come by, or get some sort of setup for cooling it. As well, it will be optimized. It is still a pretty game. Ah, you're right. See, I think I think when I set up the streams, I want it to be something interesting to watch. But I guess the reasons I would watch something aren't the same reasons that people might watch while we work on the game. Definitely need to fix these big stumps that keep sticking out above the ground. That is not my intention. And games to play. I guess that depends on what you like to play the most, but I'm more of a RPG kind of guy usually. And I think for me, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the biggest thing I'm looking forward to playing right now. I own it, I just haven't actually sat down and immersed myself in it yet. I'm telling you, I sit there, and I'm like, I want to add this thing to the game. And then I end up sitting here for 12 more hours doing that. Who needs work-life balance when this is my hobby? Debatably healthy, maybe, but it's fine. This should go. I definitely hope to keep us pretty high up there graphically while also running well, but we're just trying to use the latest features while also optimizing heavily. So, while it will be demanding graphically, demanding is different than poorly optimized. So it will run as well as it possibly can. I still need to play Total War. I haven't played it yet. Yeah, I mean, their biggest strength with Ark doesn't seem to be optimization. Seems like it has really good gameplay. I've played a little bit of it, not the newest one. Optimization was always pretty rough though. I actually made some mods for a friend for the newest Ark to make it run better, and it helped quite a bit. But I know there are other mods out there too that do that. I figure I don't know if the other people that made them are Unreal developers, but since I am, I may as well use what I know to make it run a little better. I do not want these roots here. Really, I'm probably going to get rid of those entirely. They get in the way when you're running around, and I'm not a huge fan of them. I haven't published them, but I've thought about it. I think the main reason I haven't published is because I don't own the game, so I can't test it myself. I'm just going off of him telling me, yes, it runs better. Because I only own the first one, and the mod I made was for the second one. Gotta love that bug. I just have to quickly sculpt the landscape and the texture returns. This is the only project I have where that happens, but it makes sense because this is also the largest and most complex project, so it makes sense that we would get more weird editor bugs. Those are things that won't show up in games, so don't worry, but yes, I agree. I'm I keep procrastinating on it because I forget about it, but I need to go back and tweak this path a little bit, tweak the material for it so that it still has grass, but it's less dense. Because initially I made this path material for putting at the bottom of creeks and lakes, things like that, where it would make sense to have pretty dense underwater foliage. But I've ended up not using it that much in those areas, just every now and then. This layer of our landscape has changed purpose a few times. Because there is a limit to how many layers you can have. So I just have to find the ones that are the most important and use them. Yeah, I wasn't sure what the new one has different. I plan to get it at some point though. Despite the optimization being pretty rough, it still looks like it'd be fun to play. I think, unfortunately, the problem seems to be that they're talented with programming, but not as much with actual knowledge of how lumen and nanite work. Actually, I'm not even certain they're using nanite. They might be. Which is pretty common for that to be an issue right now. The documentation for nanite and lumen isn't very good and not very comprehensive, so it's not uncommon to see. You know what? Maybe we'll go ahead and tweak the grass distribution on this. Yeah, that sounds like it might be not the best idea for you. But yes, if anyone wants to test out a mod for the newest arc, you can just send me a DM on Discord, and I probably won't get back to you right away, but I can just tell you what files I need, and I can take a look, see if anything's changed in the newest versions. Modify it. Yeah, I've played the first one, and it was pretty rough. At the first time I played it a long time ago, back when it was in early access, and that was pretty bad on optimization. But the game itself is really cool. Yeah, as long as you have reasonably modern hardware, this should run just fine for you. I'm trying to give variety of graphics settings that can fine tune it for you. So, me and one of the programmers are working together on the graphics menu, and that will hopefully help a wide range of hardware run it. I don't see why not, considering we have a QA team who's tested quite a bit of it, and I've seen a pretty wide range of hardware running it. You'll have a pretty good idea before we release it, whether you'll be able to run it or not. Luckily, we've got enough people testing the game that we can get an idea of what runs well long before it actually releases. I already have a pretty good idea of where we're sitting, performance-wise. Let's see. There we go. I wanted to meet these two paths together. Very normal. Snow. Yeah, I'm kind of a nut about optimization though, so you'll have a very good chance of running it. It's just one of the things I think is most important for any modern game. It's been increasingly an issue. Also, we'll finally have some giant sequoia saplings in the woods here pretty soon. I made some, but I just haven't imported them to the project yet. The textures on them came from my own giant sequoia. I need to actually try and make enough extra money to buy a fancy camera so I can start getting some really good scans that don't need as much work to make them look good. So before I go erasing any of the grass, we'll tweak it. But first I'm going to remove all these boys right here. Can you tell I'm from Texas? But yes, for anybody who wasn't here earlier, I apologize if the stream goes out at any point. We're having a lot of heavy storms, tornadoes, that kind of thing right now, so it's been happening every now and then. My trees are loving it though, mainly because they haven't met a tornado yet. Oh, you know, I have several horses. I keep them in my restroom. They drink out of the bathtub. They prefer used water, so, you know, they wait until I take a bath and then drink that water. I'm a clean guy. It's sanitary. Oh, I think I was starting to say earlier and completely forgot. So on Arbor Day, there's a place that's really popular for selling redwood trees, a big nursery, and they gave away a bunch of Dawn redwood seedlings. So I have 4 more that are coming in today. I was like, there's no way they'll let me order 4, but they did. So I did. Giving 1 to my mom, though. Oh, you know, I was just talking about my bathroom horses that drink my bathwater. Nothing abnormal. Because Texas, y'all. Does anyone else here say y'all, or is it just me? I don't know how widespread that is. Yeah, you can. I have several in my backyard. I have giant sequoia, a coast redwood, 3 Dawn redwoods. There'll be 4 more today. As long as you live in the right zone, which you probably do, because the giant sequoia can grow pretty much anywhere. Then you can grow. Yes. I wasn't sure if that was just a Texas stereotype, or if more places said it too. I'm glad to know this. Oh, that's fine. Y'all. But yeah, probably everybody here right now, you could, if you wanted to, grow a giant sequoia pretty easily, since those will grow pretty much anywhere. Coast redwood's a lot pickier. Dawn redwood will grow pretty much anywhere too. Excellent. I didn't know it was that widespread. As you see, I haven't gotten the opportunity to go many different places, so what everyone tells me here is about what I know. I mean, a lot of my friends are foreign, but it is not a crime. Everyone should have a clean desktop. If you don't, you should be ashamed. That is my official opinion. That's horrifying. Never show me a screenshot of it. I'll probably die inside. How can someone who created our beloved horseshoe crab have such a terrible desktop? I will only forgive your sin because of what you created. That is just terrible to me. I can't. I like having absolutely nothing but the recycling bin on my desktop. See, let me share again. See that? Beautiful. Probably our meadows would be the place with the most grass. It's pretty dense there. I just haven't shown it much because I've only recently really started to shape that area up. It's been there, but I haven't gotten to really dig into it yet. I think we cleared out all the paths. Having a clean desktop would bother you? That just doesn't make sense to me. Heresy. Okay. So let's adjust this grass distribution a little bit. Don't know if I have it connected. Yeah. No, we really don't need that. I'll look at it later. That might be... Well, that's just for specular. Okay, let's adjust that grass. Yes, there are little um, patches of trees, basically, in the meadows. But I'm going to be changing that a lot. I'll probably set it up to where there are some forested areas and the rest will be patchy. Do I not have this? Oh yeah. What do you know? We'll do red. Well, yeah, red channel. Got to connect this. Yummy spaghetti. I use named reroutes though down here. Where'd it go? Down here. That was a little too much spaghetti. So now we'll have some control. Oh, all the rocks are processed. Excellent. I'm excited to see them. Did you do it on your phone or on desktop? That was pretty quick. But I guess usually I'm doing like 400 to 600 photos, which takes a long time. Yeah, I guess the rocks would probably come out fine on the phone. I really only do the PC version if I want 16K textures because the UDIN textures are extremely high quality. And now it's actually in little patches, but let's adjust it so it actually looks good. And then later on I'll go back and then I will have to put grass back on the paths. What kind of grass is this? We might use a different one, but for now this will work. It actually might do a different channel. Right now our distribution looks like that. Let's try blue. Oh, it's going. It's going well. I'm loving it. Let's try this. Have to adjust it on this one too. I have 4 different instances of the material for the landscape. Yeah, that's plenty for smaller rocks like that. Still a little too dense in that spot. Look at that, need float accuracy for vegetation variation. You know, right here, that's still too much. Have to play around with it a little bit. Might actually try the green channel, see if that works better. It's a little different than the other layers because it doesn't have as wide of an area to spread out on. But yes, the level design goes well. I think for now that'll work. Ooh, except for how that part of the path is completely covered. How terrible. Shameful even. Now we'll set up some bridges. Definitely have to go back and add grass back to the paths, but that is fine. I only have a couple options for bridges, so let me see what we have. Definitely need to make more of those. Really might even just custom make some, as in with Megaskins, merging them together. What these boards look like. That probably work. We'll use some of these boards to make a bridge. Gonna drop the triangle count because it's a little unnecessary on these. They're not really going to cull anything behind them, so not really a purpose. And real quickly, for optimization, I set up a new master material for the Megaskins. So I'm just going to put these under that real quick. Okay, I think they're all under the same material. Yes. Okay, good stuff. And I'm assuming they don't have collision, so yep, that's what I thought. Absolutely delightful bug. So let's make a bridge. That'll be part of it. But we also need some beams, and I should have some. Possibly that one. Or if we want a little more natural look. Just having to do these as I go. There's a bunch of Megascans, and the new material I made is a lot more performant. So I want to get them all under it eventually. Go. Yeah, I think maybe we'll use that. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might end up looking a little weird, so I'll use this one. Hmm, still doesn't quite fit. I think for now, maybe we'll use a placeholder for the bridge. Let's see, I don't remember if I added one. Maybe this will work. Not a bad option. Yeah, I think we'll use this for now. I guess one other one I'd like to see. That looks a little more jungle themed. Yeah. We'll put something under them too, but let's just get it across here first. Whoops. What did I just do? This is going to be more of a placeholder for the moment. It's not the best bridge ever, but it's acceptable. Let's actually turn this a little bit more. Really, we might not even need the ramp, but let's see. It fits. So now we need something under them to make it not unreasonable. I think that'll do it. Just have to copy this a few times. I'm actually going to move these back just a little bit so it sits in the middle of that gap. I know, I feel the same way. That'd be a lot of fun. Get rid of that one. Oh, never mind. Thought we could. Oh no, we can. Excellent. You're right. You just have to fill every inch of space with stuff. Stuff and things. Is that floating? It is not floating. Excellent. But is that floating? No. So we're good. I'm a big guy, but I don't think I could take on a dino. Might be a little unreasonable. maybe a compy. Okay, now we can make this into a packed level actor. I don't know. I don't think I could take on a dino. Maybe. A really small one. You're right. I forget I have those powers, so... You're right, I could just drop an entire bridge or a mountain on it. You never know. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, I think it would only be once. Sorry to say. This will probably be too long for the other areas, but let's see if I can reuse it. Because there are other spots where a path is going to cross. Oh, look at that. That's sticking up. I'll fix that. So probably, maybe. That actually might not be too long. That might do it. The problem I'm seeing is that it's not level. But that could work. Oh, you're right, there is a floating piece. Unfortunate. I'll temporarily fix it. Or actually, we'll just edit the blueprint. Oh, it's gonna copy all of them. Okay, okay. We will break the actor. Back over yonder. Yeah, I gotta fix it, you're right. There it is. unfortunate. All of that hard work. Let me make sure it didn't turn off my settings. It did. I knew it. But those are good. Okay, so we're going to try again. This time with more bridge. Definitely going to come back with different models though. I'm just going to need to make something because there's so many times where I need a bridge and I don't really like the ones I have. Which is just me being picky. After all, it is just a bridge. And now I've seen a lot of these floating, so we need to rectify that. That one right there. So what we can do is go back over it without changing all of this other stuff. Selected a few other things while I was doing it, so I need to not do that. And this should fix all the floating logs. Big brush. Yeah. Oh yes sir, that's a beauty. If you're wondering, I do sit here talking to myself when I'm just doing this by myself. Let's see how that looks. Look at that. Oh, look, it's still floating. Really, bro? Must you do this? There. Okay. You're right. You're absolutely right. That should be good now. But you know what? I thought that last time. Yes, all is well. Should be no more floating logs. But don't look too hard, in case I'm wrong. But now I want to make a couple spots where there is a log crossing the stream. You're right. You gonna make me one? Now, where did I put this model? Wait, that was it. Haha. Excellent. So where should we put it? Here. I can feel it. That's the spot. Ooh, that's a good idea. Trying to make sure you won't get stuck on any branches walking across this. That should do it. There you go. That's basically a bridge. Yeah, let's put some debris around here. See what we got. Needs more hoot verbs. If you hear that, I apologize. My dogs are going crazy. For what reason? Who knows? We're not going to be using this one, but figured I'd fix it while I was here. That's a cool one. I think we'll use it. I haven't used it anywhere else. I'm just using the NVIDIA broadcast thing that lets me do noise cancellation run off of my GPU. Works pretty well. Let's actually, we'll probably use subsurface for this because of the moss. Oh, whoops. What am I doing? Yeah, it fits the look. We'll use it. Loading log. The game dev classic. Log. You heard it here first, folks. Log. Like on your calculator. Nearly moss mounds. Will it even stick up above the water? That is the question. Okay, now we need a rock. Because I feel like something should be bracing these to keep them from going anywhere. That's a good question. I'm really not sure. I plan to add well, what I'm doing is reducing the density in some areas so it's a little nicer to walk through, but I also want to add more variety. So I have a few more I'm making. But we should have at least a few more different plants here, because I feel like there should be a little more variation. But as far as the actual number, there's a lot. I would guess about 10 to 20, somewhere in that range. Slorp. Yes. You're absolutely right. I think a little more debris in the stream here would be a good idea, actually. Let's add a little bit. I did not. I went out to scan stuff, but that's a normal day for me. How about yourself? Now that I think about it, I should probably double check and make sure these have collisions. Yeah, that's a good way to spend the day. I approve. And that is why I check. Let's actually reduce that a little bit more. Red Bull. Leave this one as it is, because it has a little bit more detail I feel would be lost. It's a tedious thing doing this, but it will help performance quite a bit once I get them all moved over. Oh, I just drink the normal Red Bull. However, I saw there's a couple new flavors, so I think I'm going to try one a little bit later when I have a totally healthy amount of caffeine. Why are those so dark? It should help a little bit. Or perhaps not much at all. Something. That's understandable, and probably for the best, because they're really not great for you. I just have an excessive caffeine addiction. There we go. I am going to end up making this stream deeper later on, so might not be able to see the rocks as well then, but that is all right. Yes, it'll be easier now if I feel like stopping because I'm working from home now, but still I feel that it would be difficult because I'm still being productive while I'm home. Let's load this area over here. Need to cover up this little side here with something. Yeah, I always have a hard time trying to slow down on caffeine. It's not fun. It sounds like there's a repair guy at my house right now. My downstairs toilet decided to destroy itself the other day, so I think that's why my dogs are going insane. Ooh. If I even cut back to 2 cups of coffee in a day, I would be improving. I'll just say that. I think I actually have some Excedrin around. Usually the headache isn't the worst part for me because I have a lot of back pain from my last job, so I'm pretty much always on some sort of painkiller, prescribed, mind you. And that helps. Not a huge fan of this one. I think I'm going to remove that, replace it. There we go. I just think it looks a lot nicer when you have areas like this covered up. Are we going to use the log again? I think we are. Level design, for me, often goes without a plan. I just start doing things. Do what feels right. But I may end up replacing this stream today, we'll see. I've been wanting to mess around with new methods for waterfalls, so I might be doing that instead. Because I don't like the ones we have right now, and I know I can do better. Let's look for any more spots that need to be cleaned up a little bit. This, for example, could use some improvement. Yeah, I think once I figure out that waterfall tool, we're going to use that on a few streams, because there are lots of places where I want waterfalls, and we have a really nice tool for it, but I haven't fully figured it out yet, so I haven't been using it. And we are going to come back through here, though, and make this river deeper, so I'm not going to go too crazy here just yet. But this does need to be deeper. One of the things I needed to do, just in general with some of the streams around here, is make them have a nicer, smooth transition into them. So I'm touching that up a little bit while we're here. It's something I always have to do after I make the stream, because for the simulation to work smoothly, it needs to be a little rough, if that makes sense, to contain the water and send it where I want it to go. Definitely have a lot of plans for better water bodies for aquatic creatures, that kind of thing. Yes, it will. I'm actually just about done with the nettles, too. This could be a little bit smoother. Kind of a balance of trying not to make it a really smooth and boring map, but also easily traversable. Takes a little tweaking. Yeah, I have some nettles I've been making, and I keep remaking them because I haven't been very happy with the result. I'm just extremely picky. A lot of times when I'm making new models for plants or trees, I spend a long time on them, remaking them over and over until I'm happy with them. For the record, I've never been stung by a nettle. Although it sounds unpleasant. do think this area is a little too sloped, because it becomes kind of useless area when it's like this. I'm going to be changing that. We might do that right now, just for a little bit, since I'm just about to end the stream, but I want to get a little more done. However, this isn't going to be the last part of the day I work on the game. Not even close. Ooh, that sounds terrible. One of my brothers is so allergic. Not allergic. I guess you could say that. He reacts so badly to poison ivy that if he's within about half a mile of one, he'll get a rash from it. It's insane. Do they really? I didn't know that. I need to find more healthy plants. I feel like there's probably some pretty beneficial stuff out there that I don't know about. Really hoping my dawn redwoods get here in a bit. I feel like the rain would be good for helping them establish today. Kind of cleaning this area up a little bit. I'm gonna end up shaping it up more so it's more traversable, because right now it looks cool, but it's not really able to be walked around much because it's so steep. That is not my goal. Plus, smoothing it out like this will make the collisions more accurate. Always a good thing, so we're not floating in the air while we walk around. Yeah, I can imagine that. I had no idea that nettles had any health value. I'm sure our guy handling that would be very interested though, so I'll probably send them to him when I finish up the nettles. I've made him a few other things to use for tribals. I just make the pretty things. He puts them to use. I should save before I get too far. And today I'm finally going to get around to, well, I say finally, I've only had them for a day. I ordered some bark from a big coast redwood, and I'm going to use it so I can photo scan it, and for one, put it in this game, and also it'll be in asset pack I'm releasing soon for coast redwoods. Just little bark pieces to scatter around on the ground. After we smooth a little bit more, we'll go ahead and stop here. Yeah, I like having realistic little touches in my asset packs I make, and I also like putting the stuff for those packs in this game. So I figured I could spare the $10 or so to get some bark from a real coast redwood so I could scan it. Interesting. I didn't know that about nettles. I don't know if I've ever seen a nettle in my area. But now I kind of want to look for one because, you know, back pain and all that from my last job. I think that would be helpful for me. Okay, after this saves, we'll go ahead and stop here. But once I get that model of the bark scanned, I'll post it in our Discord so everyone can see it. Because I'm also going to put it in our game. Even though this area is a giant sequoia forest, we're going to have a section for coast redwoods. Yeah, that would be inflammation. Maybe you are allergic. Alright, we'll go ahead and stop here. Thank you all for dropping in to watch. I will be back on Thursday. So I'll talk to you all then. Have a good day, everyone.